message here is you don't have to be a technical expert to be involved in these workshops. And that's kind of the point we're trying to make. It takes a lot of people with expertise about and knowledge about different things. That's what these exercises are. How do we collaborate, especially with these modern tools that are out there? It's not really about a single solution. It's really about the connectivity between different systems. If you think of each of these application systems as assets, they need to be talking to each other. So the exercise would be, okay, let's create a sample working scenario. If we start saying, okay, what kind of assets do we need for this scenario, and go through the entire life cycle. We're going into planning and programming for emergency response as one example. We need to set up a temporary clinic. We have existing buildings. What are the capabilities? How much capacity does it need to support this? And not only within this tool, I'm showing kind of the graphical view, but there are connections to other tools. So other applications can go in here and start doing analysis, for example, creating dashboards or whatever. And that's the intent here, is how do we create, first of all, a way to capture decisions and then use those throughout the life cycle, whether we're simulating something in the future or trying to react to something that already exists, and then have different subject matter experts react to that too, whether they're engineers that give us input on engineering decisions or owners that give us requirements that say we need extra space for A, B, and C, which was the case with the COVID response BIMStorm that we did, is how much clinic space do we need? So you have an actual place. In this case, we put it into a location on the medical campus in Ankara. It could be anywhere, really, anywhere in the world, but you then have a very specific use case, an example to say, okay, here's a campus in Ankara. We're pulling in maps from other sources. So this is actually from Google Maps. It's a GIS layer. So we have very specific location, which is important when you're trying to plan logistics of how do we get these containers into here. And when you were doing the work with Ukraine and microgrids, we said, okay, where's the actual port facility that we can get into that's available? So you not only have the city map, you're going all the way out, you're zooming way out and say, okay, we're this far from this port right here. Is this available? That's another example. So it kind of zooms all the way out to kind of the world level or all the way down to what we were looking at in the space. And we use a lot of what something is called APIs, programming interfaces, that allow us to connect to other sources of data. So for example, we didn't have to build the map in the background, it's coming from another source, but we're using it to actually geolocate, in other words, say exactly what's the latitude and longitude of this clinic for the use case of logistics or for planning or for energy analysis. For example, by knowing the location, you can know what's the weather there, which is another source of data, right? So that's the kind of scenario planning that we've been doing through these exercises.